Good morning and welcome to my SilverSneakers chair yoga class. I'm Olivia. This is my church home, North Presbyterian Church in Williamsville, New York. You see my Buffalo shirt. Let's get started. Okay. Sit up against the back of the chair, if you will. I'm going to move this chair here to give you one more room. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Sigh, make a little noise. Let go, for goodness sakes. Let that be the signal to your brain to allow yourself to be present. I don't care what day of the week it is. I don't care what month it is. Just allow yourself to be present inside this room, on your chair, in your skin. And then as you find the fullness of your breath, maybe you need to direct it into some place that needs a little TLC. And if that's the case, do that. Deeper breath means more oxygen to the cells, the tissues, the organs. Remembering gratitude turns everything we have into enough. Breathe in that sense of gratitude. Breathe in calm, exhale chaos. And then I would say we might be ready to begin. Let's move out to the edge of the seat. Bless you. Let me get fixed here. Oh, jeez. Okay. So coming into seated mountain pose, feet are right underneath the knees. Broaden the collarbones here. And then let the elbows draw down towards your hips, maybe towards the ground, depending on how long your arms are. Yeah. And then a little tuck in the chin. You find yourself on the very tip of the sit bones. And again, close your eyes and take a couple more deep breaths. This time the breath's going to go into the back as well. So be sure that happens. And now with your nose, let's make this figure 8. So drop over to one side, up the wall, across the ceiling, and down the center. And then the same thing on the other side. Up the wall, the ceiling, down the other side. Pay attention to what you feel in the back of the neck. And one more time. And then coming right back to the center. Lift the chin just a wee bit, and then tuck the chin towards the chest. And then again, lift the chin. Let the heart begin to come up as well. And then tuck the chin, and then let the shoulder heads kind of point towards the front part of the room, front corners of your imaginary box, that's what I mean. And then as you lift the heart, so we begin to get some upper body involvement. The shoulder heads point toward the side walls, and then the shoulder heads point towards the front diagonals. And then maybe the back diagonals with the shoulder heads. And one more time. You are still on the tip of the sit bones and nothing has changed there. And down. All right, walk your feet out wide. And then with that nice straight spine, we're going to begin to take this rotation. Fire on the abdominal muscles as you do that. Again. Pay attention to your breath here. It's kind of easy to hold it, but try not to hold your breath. Keep it nice and smooth. And let's go the other way. All the way back up, let the head settle back down. Let's bring the feet back in and begin to roll the shoulders. So we start low, we work up. Oh. And FYI, there's a food truck out there today. I think it looks like ice cream. Okay, let's reverse this. So elbows forward, brush down. Elbows forward and brush down. 2 more. Last one. All right. Fingers down. Let's take the right arm down. I'm reaching up and then come right back. Actually, I'm going to use my hand on my thigh. Reaching up. And again, look down the arm maybe. So a little turn in the head as well. Stay nice and even on the sit bones here so you're not lifting up on that right sit bone. And again. This time we're going to leave that hand up here and bring it a little bit in front of my face here so that stretch comes in towards the back a little bit more instead of just the side like if you're up. So let it come this way, a little circle in the ankle. Yes, I'm supporting myself here. And then circle down and around. All right, let's go the other way. So here's the side stretch, and then as you take it into the back a little bit, come forward. Breathing in, always that belly's pulled in here. And then a little circle in the wrist. And then circle it down. All right, hands behind the head. Nice deep breath in. And then bring the elbows together. Tuck the chin, drop the elbows down. And then again, lifting up and dropping down. Lifting up and dropping down. Now extend the fingers out to me. Yeah, and open wide. Turn the palms to the side walls. And elbows, imagine they were going to touch the back of the chair here. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to broaden my feet just a little bit and a little side to side now. This is a rib cage doing its work. You can bend the elbows. You can even keep your hands on the hips if that feels better to you. One more time. All right, both hands back to the heart. And I'm going to push the right hand forward and the left hand draws back to the chair. Pass through the center. Take that deep breath in. Exhale, we push. Come back to the center. Exhale, push. Again. Exhale. So you fill the lungs right here in the center, and then a nice exhale. All right, back to the center. Deep breath in, forward fold. A little tuck in the chin, and then we take this halfway rise. Eyes up, heart comes forward. Reach into chair pose. Okay. Powerful pose. And the last piece of this is take the gaze up. Push the sit bones, tailbone back into the chair too. Don't roll forward there. Reach to the ceiling and add this little twist. Arms float down. All right. So then turn the gaze a little more towards the right shoulder as best you're able to, and then drop the chin to the collarbone. Trace the collarbone. Come up looking over the left shoulder. Yeah. And then slowly come back to the front. Let everything heal up for a moment. We take the other side. Forward fold. Little tuck in the chin. We halfway rise. Powerful chair pose. Powerful pose. Bend the elbows. And then from here, take the gaze up a little bit more. Push the sit bones and the tailbone back onto the chair. And reach to the ceiling. Nice and tall. Let them float down. All right. And then looking over that left shoulder, drop the chin to your collarbone. Come up to the other side, and then slowly come back to the front. Let that spine heal, lifting up, a little circle in the ankle here. And then with your shin, that's the ankle. scratch the shin. So come down and up to the knee. Whatever range of motion feels good to you here. And then again. All right, grab that knee and we're going to circle it out to the side. So find the tip of the sit bones once again. Let's just maybe try this without supporting it today. If you need it, it's okay. 2 more. And last one. Slide that foot out and we're going to come around. And again, out. Extend it all the way out and back. Again. Nice. 2 more. And last one. All right. Toes up. Wiggle your toes. And we switch to the other side. All the way in. Little circle in the ankle. Okay, so we're going to start this outward motion. You need to hold on to it fine. If you can do it without that, do it. Belly in, holding you up right here. 2 more. Beautiful. All right, slide it forward, so extend it out, and then we're going to go around. Now, if you have shoes on, it is a little difficult to do that in shoes, so work where you're comfortable. You can always keep the toe up there too. 2 more. And last one. All right, bring it right back in. I think that's all I did. Deep breath in, hands to the heart. All right, we are going to stand up. So get yourself ready out to the edge of the seat. You can keep them here. You could fold them. You can use the chair, whatever you need. Deep breath in. Hi, Teresa. Exhale, rise all the way up. Hands over your head, and then release them back down. Okay, and just come into mountain pose. You want to get around the back of the chair so you've got it for balance. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, here we are in mountain pose. And I'm going to say soften the knees a little bit as you draw the tailbone down to the ground. Not underneath you, just down towards the ground. The knees are going to soften just a little bit. And then begin to open the front of the body. Think of that. Remember I've said before, it's like this rush of wind comes up the front body and grounds down through the back body. So pay attention to that. We're going to lift the front body and ground through the back body. See how that affects your posture instead of grounding through the front body. All right? Big difference. All right, deep breath in. Grab hold, bring that energy into your heart, all the way down towards the earth, and we take this halfway rise. Slide towards the quadricep muscles, squeeze in the shoulder blades, belly in, and we circle sweep, pass through, chair pose, lift, and all the way down. Lovely. Shake out. Grab that drink of water. Let's move around to the back of the chair. Be sure you're going to have enough room for our downward facing dog, and if not, we will shift all this a little bit. Okay, so hands on the chair. Step on back to downward facing dog. And then any movement you need to get into this. You want to bend the knees, you want to round the back, drop one shoulder, bend one knee. Just any kind of movement you need that brings you joy and feels good, all right? Nothing that causes pain, but anything that feels a stretch that you go, oh man, do I need that there, all right? And then finally come back to stillness. And I'm going to ask you to try to just have the hands lightly on the chair so that most of the weight is on the legs and the feet. So I have fired on my abdominal muscles and my knees are bent. Breathing deep into the back ribs. So let the rib cage expand upward and outward in the back. All right, take the gaze over the chair. Step the right foot in. We're going to lift up into our upward facing dog. I'm going to press into the heel of the hands. Straighten the arms. Take the gaze up. My foot's on the ground. You could lift it if you wanted to. It's up to you entirely. And then we're going to step back. Same thing. Uh-oh. Take a nice deep breath in. And then let's step the other foot in. Same thing. About halfway, you're going to roll to the ball of the foot, maybe the toe, maybe lift the toe, press into the heel of the hands, lift the heart. Come on back. Let's do it one more time. Again, pushing up, lifting up, and then come on back. One more time on the other side so we get that stretch in the front of the body. Strengthen the arms, strengthen the glute, and all the way back. Let's step the feet wide here, all right? So wide standing downward facing dog, you may discover you can take this a little bit deeper. Maybe push the hips to one side and then the other side, getting a little inner thigh stretch here as you do this. Again, I'm just here with suggestions. This doesn't work for you, it's okay. All right, and then walk your feet back in. And let's come away from the chair, heels underneath the sit bones, standing nice and tall. Good morning. Morning, nice deep breath in. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold. Inhale, we halfway rise, bring the heart forward toward the chair. Little squeeze in the shoulder blades, and then circle sweep as if you were gonna hold a beach ball right on the back of the chair there. Okay, we lift it up a little bit higher, and then let's come into that powerful pose. Yeah, nice. Can you see your toes? I have to move my hips back a little bit because I can't. Last piece, lift the heart, push the ceiling back up, deep breath in. Let's clasp the hands and over to one side. Nice side stretch, reach the fingers far. Come right back to the center. Same thing, instead of settling in, see if you can reach them further. And back to the center, all the way back down. All right, step in on the right foot, turn that left toe out, and let's rise up into that warrior one. So my front knee is over the ankle, hands behind the head. Here's my lounge chair pose. As I bring the heart forward, I lift the gaze right forward just to me, and pressing the elbows back. All right, circle sweep, hinge at the hip. You've got this beach ball, you're gonna pick it off the chair and lift it right up. So my arms are gonna come in alignment with my ears here. Breathing deep. Lift all the way up. All right, circle sweep down. As the arms come up, step both feet together, reach to the ceiling, deep breath. Switch to the other side. Toe ball heel goes down and rise up. Beautiful. Lovely. Hands behind the head. And then just bring the heart forward, lifting the gaze, press the elbows back. So you don't have to look up here. Just look forward and then press the elbows back as the heart comes forward as well. So you want to try to take that pinch out of the low back. All right, circle sweep. You're going to pick that ball right off of the chair and lifting it up. Maybe arms come parallel. Breathing deep. Lifting up, circle sweep. As the arms come up, step both feet together, deep breath in, and all the way down. Downward facing dog. All right, keep the gaze over the chair. Step that right foot in, turn that left toe out, and we're going to windmill that right arm around, coming into a twist. So my front knee is bent. Should you find balance, let that left hand reach right smack over the chair to me. All right, lovely. And let's just try one thing. Rise up on that back toe. Arms come over your head and come to the front. Side stretch over, drop that right hand. We're going to swing that arm back and come into warrior two on the other side. How do we do? All right. So now that right hand reaches over the chair, the left hand goes back. My front knee, right knee, is over the ankle, back leg is straight, and everything's looking to the left wall in your imaginary box, right? All right. Right hand to the ceiling, lift up into reverse. Right hand, right hand. Breathing deep. Find a little more length somewhere. Maybe in the torso by pulling the knees in, maybe in the arm. Maybe the arm that's reaching up, maybe this arm that's reaching down, but find a little more length somewhere. All right, we windmill both arms back to the chair. Step back to downward facing dog. So we're going to do that 180 on the other side. Breathing deep. All right, keep the gaze over the chair. Let's see, did we step in on the right foot? And we came up into, I know, we were going to add this twist. On the left foot, that's right. And now I'm going to windmill my left arm around. Yeah, getting that body, head over heart over pelvis. Now, should you find, and that arm does not have to go all the way back. It can go to the side. Should you find balance, let's release that right hand forward to me, exactly, coming over the chair. Turn your gaze to the left wall, maybe your hand back there. Breathing deep. And now as I'm going to lift that back foot, it becomes a little more balanced. And I'm going to windmill that arm around and come right around into Warrior Two on the other side. Resituate your feet as you need to. Knee over the ankle, back leg straight, check in, head over heart over pelvis, and everything's facing the right wall. Stretch the arms far from your heart. And then maybe take the gaze over the two-piece fingers in the front. So looking over the two-piece fingers in the front, we turn that palm to the ceiling and lift up into reverse. Don't straighten that leg in front. Keep it bent. You need the chair anytime. Go ahead and drop the arm. It's fine. Just think about lifting the heart. There's that wind up the front body and grounding down the back body again. One more breath. All right, windmill that back arm all the way around. Step back to downward facing dog. How nice is that? Beautiful. Deep breath wherever you need it. Send it there. And then hands back to the thighs. Let's take that reverse swan dive all the way back up. And you can take wide arms or come right down the center. It doesn't matter to me. Now we're going to inhale, slide up the legs, squeezing the heart, your shoulder blades together, bring the heart forward, and into chair pose. Okay, be sure you can see your toes. I always have to look down. And then powerful pose, arms are bent, yeah, elbows back. Take the gaze up. Turn the tailbone toward the earth and reach to the ceiling. Hold those little ceiling panels up with your fingertips there. Yeah. And wiggle all the way down. Shake it up. Grab a little water. Come on back. Nice. Okay, let's come around to the side of the chair. Inside leg here, okay? So I'm going to use my left leg and swing it forward and back, and just be sure that you're not hitting the chair. Just easy. And try not to hinge forward too much, okay? This pinches the back, then I would say just stop right there at the leg, at the foot, at the ground. Again, one more time. All right, so lifting that knee up and down, up and down. Toe ball heel goes back to the ground. If you don't need the chair, don't use it. We're going to slow this down, and that's the key. Then it becomes balance. So we lift up, slowly down. All right, so lifting, slowly down. Yep. Keep your chair handy if you need it. And again, you really feel that supporting leg fire on when you do that. 2 more. Okay. This time we're going to hold it up, but I'm going to grab my chair because I'm going to take my right hand and cross over it. So a little bit of a support, not much. If you want to hold the pant leg, that's fine. Which is going to turn my body to look over the chair as well. Fire on the abdominal muscles here. And maybe you find a little balance. You can move to the fingertip. All right, curl that heel to your seat as you come back to the front, and then drop the knee to the ground. That sole of the foot goes to the back wall, and I'm going to keep that foot flexed and reach up high. Yeah. And maybe you find balance, but maybe you need that chair. It's dancer pose. If you have done dancer pose and no, you feel free to reach that left hand back and grab for the foot. I knew somebody would laugh. All right, and now we're going to move into airplane pose. And you can always touch the foot on the ground. You can always use the chair. Once again, it's Bernoulli's principle that wind is rushing up the front body, lifting this airplane and coming down the back body, right? So feel that sense of lift in the front and ground through the back. Put the toe on the ground if you need it. That'll help. Everything in mountain pose. Beautiful. Strong back leg. Your tail of your plane is still working. All right. Now I'm going to drop that foot behind the other one here. And just see if we can find our mountain pose with the legs crossed. It screws the brain up a bit, right? All All right, from here we're going to come into eagle pose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend both knees, and my back knee is going to push into my front calf. All right, one hand across. And you may stay right there if you'd like. Each piece I add now is going to make it a little more challenging. So you find your happy place and stay there, please. Knuckles, elbows, and we lift. You can uncross the legs, put both feet on the ground, and just stay with the arms, that's fine. All right, unfurl the arms, and we're going to come right back to mountain pose with intention. Nice and tall. You can always take that eagle pose just like this and just stick with the arms. All right, nice tall spine once again. All right, so let's walk the feet over to the other side. Why not? And then everybody's got these socks on. He has to kind of readjust them. Okay, so here we are on the other side. We're just going to swing, so create a little space there for you. This is in the hip. This leg is just being dead weight here. Just a little movement. Nice. All right, so 2 more. And now we're going to hold this leg up. So bend the knee, and I'm going to take my hand across it. If you want to get that chair near and put your foot on it, it's okay. It's all right, but we're going to balance here. So watch this leg is not locked out. You want a little bit of a bend in that knee when that tailbone draws to the earth. And then nice and tall. Maybe you find balance and hand can come to your hip. Maybe you need the chair. All right, as you come back to the front, curl that heel right into your seat. And then let the knee drop down. Sole of the foot goes to the back wall and you reach. Find that length from the finger all the way to the left heel. Nice and tall. Drop your shoulder. Fire on the abdominal muscles. Connect the ribs to the hips. It's basic Pilates work right here. And then maybe you find balance. If you've practiced dancer pose before, and reach back, grab, but you don't have to. From here, airplane. Reach back. Yeah, toe on the ground if you need it. Works for me too. Front body lift. Lovely. One more breath. All right, and then drop that foot behind the other one. Get that chair handy as that brain goes, whoa. Okay. Now into our eagle pose. Feel free to uncross your feet here if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm going to bend both knees, and my back knee is going to push into my front calf. Let's see. Left hand, right hand. Knuckles together, elbows together, and lifting up. So squeeze those knuckles in. Great stretch down the back. Fire on the abdominal muscles. Uncross your feet if you need to. It's okay. All right. Unfurling everything. Come right back to mountain pose with intention. Hinge into airplane pose. So I'm going to turn the palms to the back wall, palms to the ground, knuckles to the ceiling. And the arms can simply be back there, or you can really find length and really work the triceps here as you reach back. I've hinged at the hip. Keep the spine in alignment, so you should be looking maybe 3 feet in front of you, not 6 feet, and not back to your knees, all right? That way that spine is in alignment. We circle sweep, come into chair pose, and we're going to hold this now. Watch the toes. Be sure you can still see them. And arms come parallel. Pull the shoulder blades back. Nice. Let's bend the elbows, and then we're going to take the elbows back. Can we keep them up by the shoulders? Yeah, try to lift the elbows so they're in alignment with the shoulders. Lift the gaze, the heart. Maybe sink a hair deeper, and we push to the ceiling. Reach all the way down. Come back to mountain pose. Notice how you feel. and a little shake out. Okay, grab a drink of water. Come on back. All right, let's step the feet out wide, turning the toes out, and sink into the knees. All right, so sink wherever you're comfortable, such that you can keep the shoulders on the wall behind you, okay? The moment you start to come forward, you've come too far. So I just want you to lift up one heel and then the other, all right? Kind of like you're trying to crack in your sneakers. Without lifting the body, just lift the heel. Okay, let's see if we can lift up one and a little pulse down. 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both of them. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up nice and tall. And let's lower down slow. One arm up. Star pose. The other arm up. Drop your shoulders. Connect the ribs to the hips. Now maybe press the elbows and the knuckles back just a wee bit more to make yourself as thin front to back as you can possibly be. Breathing deep. Nice. Okay, I'm going to turn the left toe to the front, the right toe to the right, and arms out. Now, reach towards the right wall as the hips are going to push to the left. My legs are going to stay straight. I'm coming into triangle pose. Rise right back up. First, let's come into archer. Straighten this out. Reach. Nice. Don't bend that front knee. Keep that front knee straight. Both legs are straight. Tailbone to the ground. Archer pose. Level them out. Hips to the left. Reach to the right. And here's windmill. Here's triangle pose. Reaching skyward. Yeah. Remember that mountain pose? Open the heart. Turn the gaze if you're comfortable. Use the chair whenever you need it. Drop any hand down to the chair. It's okay too. Breathing deep. Whew. And circle that arm around. I want you to drop that shoulder to me and all the way around. One more time. This time it's going to pull us right back up to warrior two. So you're going to sink into that front knee right over the ankle. Voila. Perfect. Hands to the heart. Turn both toes to the front. Let's take a little chest expansion. And there come the French fry smell. Just as I was breathing in there. All right, so left toe to the left wall, right toe to the front, and arms out. Okay, so head over heart over pelvis. Tailbone, too. This will tend to happen, right? So keep the tailbone underneath you, and all this moves together, right? So I'm not leaning over. I'm going to move it all together. So here we go. In fact, I've heard yogis, teachers say, the tailbone, you want to point it towards the inner thigh, right there. So think of that tailbone drawing towards the inner thigh. So from the ground to the inner thigh. All right, here we go. Deep breath in. Exhale. Front leg is straight, just not locked. Come right back up, tailbone to the ground, and here's archer pose. Reach up. Find some length somewhere. And again, same thing. Reach. Nice. Come right back up. Tailbone to the ground. Find some length. Torso, arm. And here we go. Windmill into triangle pose. Lovely. Use the chair if you need to. It's okay with any hand. And then get that upper body in mountain pose. So broaden the collarbones once again. Maybe turn the gaze. Put a smile on your face. It's just a yoga class. All right, we drop that arm down. So bring that right shoulder head to me. As big a circle around as you can. You must fire on the abdominal muscles when you do this. And again, shoulder head comes to me. And this time we're going to pull ourselves right back up to warrior two. So we're going to sink into that knee and find it. Arms parallel. Yeah. Hips are level. Watch this hip isn't up now. Can you imagine what that spine looks like? It would go down and it would tip this way. So get the tailbone right to the ground. Nice. Toes to the front. Let's take this little chest expansion once again. Deep breath in. Just like when you get up in the morning, huh? Give yourself a hug. creep the fingers back, drop your chin. And then just like you're going to take your shirt off, reach down, up, and around. Walk your feet in. Yeah, downward facing dog, step on back. Great. Now in this position, let's see if you have room to slide the right foot out behind you without kicking your neighbor behind you. Slide it out, put the toe on the ground. So a little micro bend in the knee and the elbows, and then let that foot leave the earth. I'm looking to the ground, warrior 3. And maybe that leg leaves the ground 6 inches, maybe it leaves the ground 36 inches. It's up to you. Bring it right back in, and we switch to the other side. So from downward facing dog, I'm going to show you from the side here. I'm going to stay in this hinge position. I'm going to slide the foot out and the toes on the ground. Now your choice, lift it here, wherever you want. I've got a micro bend in my supporting leg here, and now my elbows have a little bend to it as well. And I'm using the hands for balance. We do. Great. Drop it all the way down. Any movement you need in downward facing dog, we're going to get that that figure 4 stretch in when we sit down right away. But tuck the tailbone underneath you, round the spine, walk into the chair, nice and slow. Come all the way to the chair, hands on the chair right there, elbows back, lift the heart. And release. Okay. Grab a drink of water. Let's sit back down. We'll get that figure 4 stretch in right away before the ice cream. I didn't say that. Okay. So that was firing on those glutes for a couple of different things we did today. So we are going to stretch in there. So right leg over, up first. You know, if this is not part of your practice, you don't cross the midline, you've been told not to, then just by all means sit down. Just practice some breath work, enjoying when you're comfortable. I'm going to cross that ankle right over there at the knee, and my left foot is right underneath my knee here, so do pay attention to that. All right, beautiful. Roll that low back forward, so press that pelvis forward. That's going to find length in the spine, and you'll see exactly where you're going to be stretching. Lifting up, drawing down, or lifting and supporting. It's up to you here entirely. With that straight spine, you want a little bit more. Bring the heart forward. Like I said something to you and you went, huh? Come forward, just a hair. It doesn't take much before you feel it. It should be tension, it should never be pain. This is a deep stretch. Get some deep breaths in. That's when you really are able to let go, is on that exhale. All right, so sitting up tall, I'm going to surround my knee and bring it up towards my heart, towards the shoulder. And as that happens, a little rotation is going to happen in my spine to the right wall, maybe looking over the right shoulder. Now, you can release that foot from the other knee if you'd like, or keep it crossed over. But drawing that up, you'll feel that stretch come in a little bit deeper into that hip. All right, let's come on back to the front. Extend that leg out. Edge of your seat, please, because we're going to get a nice stretch on the hamstring. You can drop the toe or lift it up about 90 degrees here. And here's when you'll feel it, is when you find length in the spine and bring that heart forward to me. Oh, yeah. Release down, push off that leg, come all the way up, and while your hand is on that other leg, let's bring it all the way up. And again, we're going to cross it over. Maybe this is the leg you're not supposed to do, maybe this is the leg you're allowed to do, as long as you know that. Okay, so find your figure 4 stretch. You may pull up, you can push down, you can pull up here, you could tuck it in more, it's up to you, all right? But let that low back press forward a wee bit more, so that spine finds that length it needs, belly pulled in, and then maybe a little bit of a hinge. But watch you're not crunching down on the hinge. You want to stay long in the spine as you do this. And you want to keep that belly pulled in. And then on that exhale, really let those muscles relax. You may find you move a wee bit deeper. These yoga postures begin when you're ready to come out of them. All right, let's lift back up. We're going to encircle that leg. Again, you can release the foot there if that feels best to you. And then as it draws toward the right shoulder, turn your gaze towards the left wall. Draw up towards the heart, towards the shoulder. Maybe wrap the arms. It's up to you. But feel that tension, feel that stretch, and let go of it on the exhale. Moving slowly with intention, release that leg, come on back to the front, all the way out. Again, edge of your seat, toes facing the ceiling or dropping down, it's up to you entirely. I'm going to use my right hand and hinge forward about 90 degrees. It doesn't take much more than that. The key is the heart comes forward, and that's when you really feel it. So you've got this, almost this little baby cobra going, you know, if your hands on the ground, little baby cobra. Yeah. All right, release down and round back up. Now let's take the feet wide. First, you got to eat your lunch before you go for ice cream, though. Good grief, is it smelling good or what? All right, so this great big fit ball right here, we're going to round over it, scoop the belly. And as you breathe, lift the rib cage to the ceiling, into the back. Breathe into the back, so let the rib cage lift high. I'm trying to get you to actually separate those vertebrae in the low, mid-back there. All right, hands on the thigh, round the spine, come all the way back up. Let's take a little chest expansion, hands at the crease of the hip, lift the heart. And then release. Walk all the way back. Legs out in front, little wiggle. Toes, circle the wrist and the ankles. Yes. One L-sit, reach to the ceiling. You see the soles of your feet. Who's got dirty socks on now? And release all the way down. So settle on in, push that low back into the chair. Nice deep breath in. Long breath out. And then settle in, let your eyes drift closed. If that's not comfortable for you, just drop your gaze downward. But I want you to be aware of just yourself in this room. Just yourself in creation today. Turn your heart, turn your head to that sense of gratitude for you. Finish the sentence and then hold on to it. Feel that chair get softer and softer as you sink into it. So really let go. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then bring your hands together at your heart, keeping that gratitude right there in your heart. Oh Lord, prepare me for this day. Namaste. All right. Nice work today. Wow. We did standing twisted big toe pose without the big toe. We did dancer pose and then into that warrior three. So we moved through a new range of motions today. Good job.